Welcome to the Income-PIE overview video. Our goal over the next several minutes is to provide you an appreciation of who we are, what the capabilities of the Income-PIE system are, and how you can benefit from them. The Income-PIE team markets a suite of financial analysis systems to the real estate industry to quickly, easily, and accurately generate cash flow and perform analyses for residential tract and/or land development projects and income-producing properties such as apartments, office, retail, and even hotels. We have been serving the industry since 1990 and support more than 400 separate companies worldwide. We've earned a reputation for providing flexible, comprehensive, easy-to-use systems that are professionally supported and continually enhanced. Through the cyclical ups and downs of this industry, the Tract-PIE suite of systems has been a dependable, reliable, and constant analysis platform in a challenging industry. The Income-PIE system would typically be used to generate a monthly or annual cash flow projection and financial analysis of a project that entails income-producing property, such as apartments, office buildings, shopping centers, and hotels. The project might even involve the purchase, the development of the land, the construction of the buildings, the lease-up of the spaces or units, and then operating the building for a certain number of years before selling it. The resultant reports display monthly cash flows before and after debt service with project internal rate of returns, as well as loan flows and equity projections with internal rate of returns to the various partners in the deal. Much flexibility is provided to display time periods as months or rolled up into quarters and years. The reports are professional looking, suitable for presentations to management as well as potential lenders and investors. Why use Income-PIE if you have a spreadsheet system? While spreadsheets provide a lot of flexibility, they are not easy to develop. They are time-consuming and error-prone. And while our users range from large national builders and land developers to small one- and two-man shops, our typical users, one who's wearing multiple hats, is working with lenders and investors and doesn't have the option to have a spreadsheet guru on staff or to be one themselves. In a recent article in the Wall Street Journal, it stated that 88% of spreadsheets contain errors. Who wants to take the chance that your inadvertent errors might cost you thousands, if not millions of dollars? Our users like the fact that all assumptions are input on well laid out screens in an easy to follow, logical order from product descriptions, expenses, loans, and equity participation. Calculations are automatically made when reports are generated. Users have the capability to customize the reports and even export them to a spreadsheet to make them fancier. Cash flow projections for numerous projects can be consolidated effortlessly into divisional, regional, or even higher level project reports. Who has time or interest in creating elaborate, complicated spreadsheets that only can be used by a limited number of people in the company? Between the well-written user manuals, on-screen tips, and unlimited telephone support, Income-PIE users are installed, operational, and productive in a short period of time without expensive, time-consuming training classes. Let's get started on our tour. And the type of project dictates the input screens to use. Whether apartments, an office building, units for sale, or even a hotel. In our particular case, we're going to be analyzing an apartment complex where we are actually building these particular structures and then leasing up and then selling them. The cash flows from these different projects can even be consolidated to represent a project that might have spaces for rent and spaces for sale. The look and feel of these different input modules are very much the same, and the reports are similar between the different modules. Our goal for this video is to concentrate on an apartment complex where we are buying and developing the land, building the apartment structure, and leasing it up and operating it for a certain number of years, eventually selling it after a total period of 5 years or 60 months. This initial screen prompts basically for timing information. While our projection period is only for 60 months, our projection could really be for 240 months. And then we could be rolling up these months into quarters and years. Notice that there's a hint message at the bottom of the screen which changes as we move from input item to input item to assist you to better understand what Income-PIE wants you to enter. The first several screens prompt for the cost of the existing for the land or for the existing project, as well as any land development expenses. Direct construction costs of the actual apartment complex, along with predefined and user-defined hard costs and soft costs. These expenses can be manually input period by period, or using the trend function can actually be dispersed automatically on a bell-shaped curve or on a straight line basis. Values can even be copied or pasted from your spreadsheet system. While there are more assumptions related to the other expenses and loan, let's generate a report showing what's happening. The top section of the report displays the acquisition of the land and the development cost of the land. The hard and soft costs are also displayed with monthly construction totals showing cash flow before any loans. While we've calculated everything monthly, notice how easy it is to roll up the months into quarters or years. Let's return to the input screens to discuss more assumptions. Income-PIE defaults to funding all of the acquisition and construction expenses with a loan. However, on this screen we can exclude certain expenses from being funded by the loan by just putting a 1 opposite the expense name. On this screen and the next several screens you can describe up to 9 different apartment types, whether studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, etc. With each type you can specify the number of units, the monthly rent, and square footages. What could be easier? On the next several screens you can describe up to 16 operating expenses. Notice the flexibility available to describe these expenses as either a monthly or an annual amount, a % of rent, or even a variable expense related to occupancy. These expenses then can escalate into the future. Let's generate another report, and while we haven't discussed the different loan parameters yet, you can see that the system has calculated a construction loan, as well as a permanent loan to pay off the construction loan. We'll discuss these loans shortly, but for now let's concentrate on the income and expenses. You can see that there is a monthly income projection for each unit type showing the units rented, % rented, and gross rent. Then there is a monthly total for all the income items, which is then displayed as part of the operating report along with vacancy loss, effective gross income, detailed operating expenses, and net operating income. Again, the months can be easily rolled up into years if desired. Let's again return to the input screens and discuss reversion value. In our analysis, it's anticipated that the property will be sold in the 5th year. To determine the sales price of the property, you can input a specific value, use a capitalization rate or a cap rate, or a gross rental multiplier. Other factors can be input to calculate after-tax returns. A lot of flexibility is built into the acquisition and construction loan. The initial loan balance can be manually input or calculated as funding a certain % of assigned expenses or equal to whatever the permanent loan is going to be in the future. You can even specify a % of the land expense to be funded by this loan. The interest rate can vary over time. Additional drawdowns can be input as well as special repayments. The input screens are very easy to understand and use. Much flexibility again is built into the input parameters to provide all the capabilities you need for both the construction and the permanent loans. If this project will involve partners, Income-PIE allows you to set up two separate partner entities with different equity contributions, preferred returns, and profit distributions to each group. In addition, with each partner entity, you can further describe up to 5 separate partners with, again, different equity contributions, preferred returns, and profit splits. The possibilities are almost endless. Looking again at the reports, the system displays the equity contributions from each partner along with their profit distributions and IRRs. The user has the ability to display these standard reports as well as customize others for their own needs. Other meaningful reports involve the executive summary report and the holding period analysis. The executive summary report is a snapshot of the important components of the deal, such as your acquisition assumptions, loan parameters, equity participation, and returns, the units to be rented, and a source and use of funds section. It's an excellent report in a professional, easy to understand format. Another excellent report is a holding period analysis report, which displays the IRRs assuming that you were to sell the building in any year of the analysis period. In this way, you can better anticipate the optimal holding period for the investment. Other powerful features available to you are the goal-seeking capability, to back into the value of the land based upon various targets such as a project internal rate of return or even a partner internal rate of return. You can even generate a sensitivity or what-if analysis by changing major variables over 12 different scenarios and then display a side-by-side comparison of the different scenarios showing major metrics such as internal rate of returns overall as well as to the individual partners. With Income-PIE, you have a system ideally suited for analyzing all types of income-producing property. The system is easy to use, yet comprehensive. You can see that the input screens are self-explanatory and the function of the system is intuitive. The system is flexible to handle the most demanding of projects and yet simple enough, empowering the new user to be functional quickly without attending expensive training. Income-PIE is continuously enhanced and professionally supported. To learn more about our Tract-PIE suite of systems or to schedule a personal demonstration of these systems, contact us at 800-774-5077 or visit our website at www.tract-pie.com. We look forward to helping you make profits, not spreadsheets.